Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Odyssey at LIU Post. I just wanted to do a tutorial / walkthrough of the CMS system that Odyssey uses for our new writers and for existing writers who may struggle with putting their articles together. Now, your best bet is to go through Google Chrome onto the Odyssey. It just makes life so much easier. It works better with the system. So I'd say if you don't have it already, download Google Chrome for free. So then you're going to go onto the odysseyonline.com. Now from here, you're going to go to Muse. Now Muse will bring you to the login screen. If you're a new writer, you will receive an email with your username / email and password. If you're an existing writer, you should know this already. So you just type it in and you log in. Now my screen's going to look a little bit different because I have the editing feature due to the fact that I'm the editor-in-chief, but I will click and show you what your screen will look like when you log in. So this is what mine looks like, but yours will look like this. You will go into your writer dashboard, and if you're an existing writer, you will see all the articles you've written before. If you're new, there will be nothing over here. To start a new article, you're going to click New Article. Now it's going to bring you to this screen. If you're writing a regular article, you will keep this as article. If you're writing a listicle, which is all of those articles from the Odyssey that you see that have all the list points. So for all intensive purposes, we're going to do a listicle today because it's a little bit more difficult and it requires some different formatting. So I'll do that just to show you how to do it. This is your subject line. It's just the subject of the article. It doesn't have to be the headline. So we're going to say things to do before you settle down. That's going to be the example article topic today. If it's a standard article, which this is, you'll choose standard. If it's a news-based piece, you'll choose news. So then you're going to go and click next. And now this is the screen where you will write your article or listicle. But first we're going to go and we're going to take care of the headline. So here is where you're going to write your headline. To work on developing good and catchy headlines, go to your writer's handbook and it'll give you some tips because you really want to draw the reader in through your headline. So we're just going to do something basic like 10 things you should do before you settle down. Now the theme of this piece or this example piece will be about doing some things before you settle down with a home, with a family. So these are some ideas of things to do before you decide to settle down with your family. Now we're going to add a cover photo. You want to choose something relevant to the piece because this will also draw in the reader. So we're going to go to Google, and I know in our piece we're going to talk about traveling, so we're going to Google traveling. And then we're going to go to images, and we're going to scroll through until we find an image we want to use. So you can choose anything you like. We'll use this. So first we're going to right click and we're going to save the image to our computer. I like to save it on my desktop so it's easy to access. So we're going to save that. Then we're going to click the actual image so we can copy the URL because we need to cite all of our sources. That includes our image sources. So we're going to copy the URL. We're going to go back to headline. Now you can either click on this and browse through your images, or you can just move the screen down and drag the image right into the box. So once it loads, it's going to look like this. You want to take the purple line and drag it all the way down so you see the full image. Then you're going to go over here. If it's a photo from the internet, you'll do the URL like I'm doing. If it's one of your photos, you'll just put your name in here. If it's somebody's photo that you know, you have to ask them their permission first, and then you would put their name in here. So now we have the headline set. So now we're going to go back to the right tab. So to start a listicle, you are going to write a little intro about what your article is about. So I'm just going to do a few words because it's just an example, but you usually want to have about 30 to 50 words because you want them to really know what they're reading about. So we will say, for an example, everybody is in such a rush to settle down these days. Not enough people realize how important it is to live your life a little before you settle down. Here are some things you should do before you commit to settling. And then you're going to click enter, and you're going to insert a horizontal rule, which kind of separates your intro from your listicle itself. So from here, we're going to go to Formatting tab. We're going to click Header 2, and we're going to do the number 1. And my first point is going to be traveling. So, travel the world. Now after that, you're going to click enter, and you have to write a little blurb about the point. So that should also be about 30 to 50 words, just explaining what you mean by that. So I'll do an example again. Who doesn't want to travel the world? I know I certainly do. It becomes quite hard to do so much traveling once you have a family and a house to take care of. I suggest traveling as much as possible before you make the decision to settle down. Something simple like this would work. Usually we like a little bit more detail, but like I said, it's just an example. Now you're going to add an image or a GIF, because with each list point, we need the blurb of text, and then we need an image and a GIF. So this time I'm going to go right to Jiffy, because I love using Jiffy for GIFs. So in here, I'm going to type in traveling. You can get very specific. You can be very generic. You'll find something. So I'm not actually sure I see anything I like right now. So we'll go back to traveling the world. See if anything better comes up. Okay, so I like this because it's generic. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to copy the URL, and then I'm just going to bring my cursor over the GIF, and I'm going to click it. I'm going to drag it into the other screen. Put it right here. Very easy to do. Then I'm going to click on the GIF, or if you put an image, you can click on the image, and you're going to click edit. And from here, you're going to paste in the URL, and you're going to choose the position as center. And there you go. There's your first point. Now, after the image, sorry about that, my texts are coming through. We are going to click at the end of the image and hit enter. And we're going to go to formatting and do header 2 again. And we're going to do our second point. And here we're going to do something else. So anything you can think of. Let's say fine dining. I don't know. It doesn't really have much to do with it, but obviously your points will pertain to your topic. So we'll say, who doesn't love fine dining? You know, it's so much fun to try fancy places to eat, but once you're feeding more than yourself, it can get quite expensive. If you want to treat yourself and find some fancy things, try fine dining before you settle down. Now the same thing, we're going to click enter and we're going to go to Jiffy, or you can Google an image and we're going to type in fine dining. So let's see what we have to work with. We'll choose this. If you don't like anything on here, you can go find an image on Google. So we are going to click, oh, we're not going to click that. We have it open already, so we are going to copy the URL. We're going to drag this one in. Same thing, edit, link, center. Now, each listicle should have a minimum of 10 points because you don't want it to, unless you're doing like 5 points and you're really beefing up each point. But if you're doing something simple like this, you're going to want more than 5 points. You're probably going to want about 10. And you want the blurb of text and the image or GIF for each one. So then you're going to go, so once you finish all that, at the end, after you have your 10 points, you're going to do another horizontal rule and you're going to do a conclusion. So again, 30 to 50 words, but for all necessary purposes, I'm just going to give you an example. I hope you try out some of these things before you settle down. Again, you're going to want more than that, but just showing you that you need a conclusion. So then you're going to go to, you have your headline all set already. Then you're going to go to your meta, and this is where you do your tags. So, settle down, travel, fine dining, etc. You're going to want about 8 tags. Then you're going to choose your category. The subject of each category is listed in your writer's handbook. It really explains like which each one really like means. So for this, we're just going to say lifestyle. Actually, we're going to go down. It's a listicle, so we're going to do the list. Then the segment. If you find something that pertains to your article, you can click it. If not, you can just, move on. You could choose something about traveling. You could do something about social life. It's just a segment. It's just a topic it connects it to. But if you don't see anything you like, then you can just leave it blank. Click none. So then you're going to go to your slug, which is going to be what you see after the odysseyonline.com. It's going to be, your URL essentially. So I usually just like to do the whole title. So 10 things you should do before you settle down. Then you're going to preview your article. And of course you'll have more points than I have on here, but it's going to look something like this with more points and then your conclusion. And then at the bottom is going to be your picture, your name, and your tagline, which you add in through your profile when you click your name up here. Then you're going to go to scheduling. Now, you don't want to choose publish as soon as possible because then the managing editors might publish it during the week, and if you're writing it and you want it published on a Monday, which is how we usually work it, you want to choose publish at a specific date and time, and you want to choose the following Monday from when you're submitting it. So, for example, I'll choose the 25th. Now, your social network brief, this can be, usually the subheadline is what I put, but it can be anything you want it to be. It's what you'll see under the headline on social media. So I'm going to copy the subheadline. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to post it on here. And then you want to schedule your social shares. So I have both my Facebook and my Twitter linked, and this is really where you get your page views from. So I will choose both of these. And you don't want to just write something generic like check out my article. You really want to write what it's about. So everybody should try out these things before they settle down. And I'm going to do the same thing for each. And then I click save. And this means that this stuff the article will automatically publish to your social media sites that you have linked on here once it is published on the Odyssey. So once you set up these, you don't have to do anything else. Once the article is published, it will share on your social media pages. And then you click submit for editing. And from there, the editor-in-chief edits it, and then the copy editor edits it, and then the managing editor will edit it and publish it. If there are any issues, any one of those people may reject the article back to you, and then you should fix whatever the issues are and resubmit it, and it'll go from there. So I hope this helped out a little bit. I know it's not anything perfect, but I hope that it just explains how to use the system a little bit better and it makes things easier. So that's it.